Hello, I'm Jane and welcome to my channel Matilda and Josephine. If you watched my last video, you know that I have been ill and that I have been struggling with the universe just conspiring against me to make videos on YouTube and do pretty much anything that I want to do. And that I realised that perhaps the universe was trying to tell me something else, that maybe I just was not going in the right direction and I needed to change things. This video is actually an old video that I made a few months ago, but I kept struggling with how am I going to make it. I don't like the sound of my voice, which is kind of, I think it's, is it irony that now I have this other voice, which I kind of like actually because it's not my voice, so I don't feel self-conscious. I think I may have mentioned that in the last video. But I thought I'm gonna get this video up because it is about where I paint and where I've painted before and how important it is to have a space to paint because otherwise I won't paint. But funnily enough, I was struggling with the audio, and when I went in it today to try and put it together a bit more, maybe have this introduction, I discovered that I somehow managed to delete the audio. Is that some kind of universal sign? I don't know. It is in the recycle bin, so I could go in there and just, take it out, but I'm too lazy to do that, which is weird because it would be quicker to do that than to record my voice again. But I think continuity purposes, it would be good to have all my videos with the same weird I have had a virus kind of voice. So I have worked here at the kitchen worktop and it wasn't too bad. I've also worked at the dining room table, but unfortunately this happens and it's really inconvenient and there's nothing I can do. Then I worked here, my husband put these shelves up and it was perfect, the best place I could work, all my stuff was here, but this computer is shared, so I had to once again move past this amazing fire over to this rather plain corner in the dining room, and it's very practical and it works. I've got my magnifying glass here. This magnifying glass actually has an LED light underneath, which I'm going to point at in a minute because there we go. I'm pointing at it and you can see my painting that I did in one of my previous videos through there. It's really, really useful. This has got a clamp on here. It's a very, very stiff clamp, but it's actually obviously holds on to the table really nicely, so that's perfect. This particular clamp thing has a holder for the phone, which is good because I can use this separately now that I'm doing my other sketching I record with my phone. And then I have a second ring light which is attached with a different, this is a slightly nicer clamp, it's just a screw clamp. Then the thing that came with it is this camera holder. This camera is about 10 years old, it's really, really filthy, but it actually still works. Being filthy doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to work. So this is the setup for when I'm using my phone. I have to be careful with the magnifying glass because when the sun is shining, if you get it in the wrong position, it can be potentially a bit dodgy. One of the things I found with this is that the phone slips to one side, so I've had to use the third arm here just to prop up the phone. But other than that, it's actually really, really good. And the arms are quite nice and bendy, and it works really nicely, and you can put it pretty much everywhere. This is one of the most important things that I brought over from my other corner is my little dragon, and he really helps inspire and keep me company while I'm painting because I do need to have lots of things around me. And I have just turned the light on and oh, there we go, I've turned my camera light off, my phone light off, and yeah, he is just really lovely. And I do hope to do like a little tour of my shelves one day. In fact, I can get a few out now. Recently my husband bought me this Jim Henson Labyrinth book. I absolutely love the film Labyrinth. I grew up watching that over and over again. I love Jim Henson. I love Brian Froud. He's an amazing artist. All the people that are involved in all these films and creations. I mean, this book it's just full of amazing little bits. And I do spend quite a lot of time. Well, to be fair, I don't spend enough time looking through these books. I think they do sit on the shelf and look really nice, and I do need to get them out a bit more and sort of spend some time just looking through them, just looking at the pictures. I don't even need to read the stuff. I have read some of the stuff in here. It is really interesting. I do have several Brian Froud books as well up here, and also, of course, Rango. Rango is one of my favourite films, and Crash McCreary. One of my favourite artists. He does some amazing creations. I will look at that book at one sometime in the future. Of course, The Dark Crystal. That was a really interesting film, and the series as well on Netflix. It's very cool. It's not one of my favourite Jim Henson ones. I think Labyrinth has always got to be my favourite. This is just amazing. It's got some amazing artwork in here as well. And we also have the fairies. There are so many Brian Froud fairy books. They are just incredibly cool. And I do have another one. Yeah, I have another one here. It's got the... I really like this one because it's got good fairies on one side, and then when you flip it over, it's got bad fairies on the other side. It's very sweet. I really do like that. And then we just have some other books on here. I did used to do airbrushing. I'd love to do that again, actually. It's really, really cool. And then, of course, I have Harry Potter illustrated books. I do have so many other books that I want to buy, and I also need to dust this shelf. And then I also love jewellery. I love jewellery design. Anything that sparkles, so I've got quite a few books there. Oh, and another Jim Henson book. And architecture books. I do love architecture. So I think that's going to be it for this one. Oh, there's Kermit. I always have to have Kermit by my side. And anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you will leave a like, because obviously I need all the sympathy I can get. So a like and a kind comment, and subscribe if you want to see some more of this stuff. Anyway, thank you for watching.